But the other thing I want to talk about is God of War Ragnarok. Who else has been playing it?
Yep.
Wish I was.
So you're not playing it at all? Don't worry, we won't be spoiling, so feel free to jump in, guys. How many hours you guys rocked up at the moment, then? What do you reckon?
I haven't managed a lot. I think I'm about 4 hours in.
Yeah, 4.5.
15 hours I'm in.
That sounds about right for you.
I started it yesterday.
I mean, you did do Elden Ring in a week, so...
Yeah. This...
Told you you were skiving off work.
No, I weren't. I've been poorly, so I've been allowed to play it a little bit. I didn't play it at all on release day, because I didn't get it, did I? Because fucking DPD. But yeah, the next day I didn't play it either. Yesterday I started playing it. Do you know what? I've got criticisms.
I have one criticism.
What's your criticism, mate? What is it?
It's just the same game.
It is.
Like it's what I've played of it so far I've really enjoyed, and the story is what kind of keeps me going along.
Yes,
but
the combat is the same.
It's exactly the same so far. But I don't really have a problem with
that does
really,
change.
That's just kind of my only criticism that it.
I'm not going to spoil anything, but that does change.
Yeah,
it does spin it on its head a little bit. But the main issue I've got with it, this is the most backtracky game I've ever played in years. It's just
no, I don't like that.
It's super backtrack. I mean, that's however you want to play. You can just mainline this game and just absolutely go through the.
To be fair, God of War 2018 was pretty backtracky.
Yeah, it was. But this is because this is such a bigger world. It's even more backtracky. Like today, just before we started this, I did a main story mission, running through. I'm not even going to tell you the environment because that'd be a spoiler. Running through an environment and doing this mission for someone. Did the mission, thought, oh god, that was tough. Then a side mission popped up saying, oh, come and get this. I had to run through all that same area I'd just been through in the same drip, but something else was slightly different. I was like, you've done this about 5 times now.
Well, yeah, but that's a side mission thing. Like so far, what I've done about 2 or 3 of the main story missions. But I've been pottering about in the kind of the first city area.
Yep.
Pottering about on the boat. Doing there was a couple kind of back to back of the side favors came up, and I've been doing them and quite enjoying having this kind of just little sandbox to play in.
Yes.
Oh, I love doing that. Like I literally I comb every corner with.
You should do that. Trust me, you should do that.
There's landings that aren't side missions, and you find things. I did that in the first one. Like the first one is an open world, which I can get on with because it doesn't feel endless. It feels it's like a full open world, isn't it? So it makes it feel like you can go places, but there is a definite kind of end to stuff.
The first game to me felt very much like an extension of like the original Dark Souls map.
Yes,
where it was an open world that was kind of concertining around itself, so you could go where you wanted, but it was a small path everywhere you went.
But that's the main gripe I have with this game. It's I don't know if you can spoil this, but it's open worlds now to the point where you can see the pattern emerging. You do some big story beats, you see that, and then it opens up again, and this keeps happening. And I like it because it's great, and the combat now to where I am at 15 hours in surprises me, like continuously. I'm like, holy shit! Just when you've got used to something, holy shit! I've had about 4 or 5 holy shit moments. Like they've done this. Oh my! It's blown me away. It's a proper 10 out of 10 game. You can't deny it so far, and it's not going to shit the bed. The story, the beats, and the beauty, because it's stunning. It's absolutely stunning.
Oh yeah,
and
it's incredible.
The voice acting, it's the best voice acting bar none. It's
the caliber of the actors they've got in.
It's impeccable.
Well.
It's absolutely impeccable.
I love just listening to them chat away.
Yeah.
When you're on your boat and you just start talking about stuff and you find out these little bits of chunks of history and lore, and it is based on real lore.
Yes,
as well.
Yes.
So you kind of start to get find out about all these things that
is
might not have heard about before.
Again? Is that his name?
Mimir.
Yeah.
Mimir.
If you're a big fan of Mimir as well, you get more.
He's there.
You get more of his backstory as well in this, which I appreciate massively. Like, I completely forgot that. Yeah, he says it in the first game. He's from Scotland. That's his. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was brought to, and he talks about Scottish myths. Then I'm like, oh shit, we're getting into this, and it's just. And these are just bits that you might not even see. These are bits when you're just on the boats. These are not story beats, but the favours are good because some of those side stories you get more in depth on the characters around you.
Within that first world, there is some serious side missions involving Mimir, and you find a lot out about him. There's one particular Gadget mentioned at Discord today, which was just
huge
right
moment
there in the fields.
Yeah, it is a proper huge moment, and it keeps doing this, and that's the only problem I've got with it is, like, I'm playing on hardest difficulty because I'm just an idiot and I want to make it last longer. I am to the point now where some of that side stuff is just beyond my level because it does level cap you a little bit like an RPG. Yeah, you have an armor rating, don't you, at top?
It did that in the first one.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, and if you like, I'm doing some side missions now, and they're like level 6. I'm level 4, and you just can't kill them. You can't. You can't. So I don't know if that's a difficult thing or I'm just unlocking things that I shouldn't be unlocking yet.
I think. I think it's probably a little bit of both. I think you kind of maybe going because the gate, the everything is set up that you can go back to places and do things later.
Oh yeah.
So I wouldn't worry too much about that. But I'm playing it on. I'm not playing on the easy stuff because I'm playing on like the one just under normal because me and Pip are effectively playing together. So don't want to get stuck in things so she can enjoy the story.
You don't want her to be bored of you just fighting the same thing with massive health pools.
Exactly, yeah. But I'm absolutely loving the combat. I think I'm loving the writing more as well in this one.
Oh, it's so good.
Everything feels slightly wittier.
Do you read the lore logs? Because they're so good.
I tend to save up a few and then read them all at once.
Oh, they're so good.
There was one line quite early on, which because I mean Mimir brings a lot of the comedy to it, as do Brock and Sindri.
Yeah,
but the one line from Mimir that it's really early on. I think it's the first time you smash into a cave to get a chest, and he just pops up with his so we're now smashing things for joy and profit again.
Yeah. there is one scene that I really loved way later on from where you are. I'm not going to spoil why and stuff, but you're escorting someone, and that you turn left to go and find some treasure, and that person goes, "What's he doing?" And Mimir goes, "He always does this, brother. He's always going up and bashing into crates and stuff. He's always." I'm like, if I'd have not done that, I'd have never heard that. And there's one bit where I kept changing my weapons, and Mimir's going, "Every time you put your axe on your back, you're knocking my head." It's so funny. But yeah, it's a proper knockout 10 out of 10 game, but I think you pick up perfect things, don't you, more than you pick at like 7 out of 10s.
The thing is, there is so much to be joyful. The art style and design is fantastic. Facial animations are off the fucking charts.
Oh, have you seen Kratos' quivering? His lip quivering and stuff like that. He's so fucking...
There's a full blown mascara warning moment in like the opening hour of the game.
Oh god, yeah.
And you see, it's the standard thing. Atreus is upset about something. Kratos kind of steps away from him. And it's the first time I've ever seen it in a game where they've just done those micro expressions to say that he's holding back tears, and it's just like, my god, it's like the animation is so good this time around. Like the technology's gone so far, it's nearly photorealistic at times.
Details in his beard and stuff, like it's just
you see the little individual grey hairs in his beard and stuff.
There's one
when the snow
scene
gets kind of caught in it.
There's one scene later, and I won't tell you context or anything. Kratos is just having a rest, and he takes all his armor off, and he's just having a sit down on a bed, and he just looks at his hands. His hands are shaking. He goes like that with his beard, and his beard moves into his hand like a beard does, and he wipes his brow, and I'm just like, how are they doing this? Like his skin follows his finger as he wipes his. I'm like, this is insane.
It's even stuff like his beard reacts to the wind now, which it didn't in the last game. And it's just that there is such a wonderful sense of detail in it. The lighting, the composition of everything. They're still carrying on with that single camera following Kratos and Atreus through.
Yeah.
And when it goes into cutscene, it goes into like handy cam, which is how they did it in the first game.
Yeah. It just spins around then, doesn't it?
Yeah, like Cory Barlog has absolutely outdone himself with the kind of the visual direction of it.
Oh, he's a master.
Is it the same voice actor for Atreus?
Yes.
A few years down the line.
He is. They do mention that as well.
Well, because he was 12 when he did the original one, and Atreus was supposed to be 9, I think, at the time.
Yeah, he's like 15 now.
He's like 15 now, so he's aged up into his voice.
And his voice keeps breaking in it, and they mention it as well. They keep going, the balls are dropping, boy.
They've managed to capture that awkward teenager look, like that phase where he's like,
when he screams, he goes,
well, no, but they managed to capture it again in his face and his design. Like, you know, he's not quite fully grown, but he's not a little kid anymore. They've kind of got that 14, 15-year-old look about him.
There was one scene. There's one scene on the. It's just on that bit where you are on the boat. It depends how long you spend on the boat. And Atreus goes, "I think my beard's coming through."
Yeah, I've heard that line. Yeah.
Kratos goes, really? He goes, "Yeah, I think my beard's coming through. It's coming through." He's like, really? He's like, having a proper beard off with him. He's like, it'll be like yours one day. He's like,
There's lots more of Atreus and Kratos getting on as opposed to the first game.
Yeah. There is. They're not fighting anymore, are they?
Or at least as much.
As much, yeah.
There is more of the kind of father-son dialogue which works, you know, rather than Atreus asking something, he goes, "Be quiet, boy." You know, there's not less of that.
He don't call him boy as much in this, does he?
No, he actually refers to him by name.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know it will probably change the story goes on, Oodles, but how good is the way they've done the big bad?
Perfect.
It's just I love how
absolutely perfect.
When he first appears, I wasn't expecting what we got, and I definitely was not expecting the actor who's playing him.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
But when he comes in, it's just like, yeah, this is fucking brilliant. And
there is not a miscast person in this entire game, and I've met a lot of people in it now.
The guy who plays Thor is from Sons of Anarchy, isn't he?
Yes, it's OP.
Yeah, OP.
Yeah.
I heard that when I listened to him, I was like, I know that voice. Like,
yeah, he's doing a very Thanos voice though, isn't he?
Yeah, I love that scene where they meet in the beginning. It's really good.
Every person cast in this is sensational. Even like do you know some of the ghosts that you do the favors for and stuff like that?
Yeah,
some of them are famous people.
All right.
Not to Death Stranding's level.
There's no Jeff Keighley in this one, is there?
No, but some of them are like real people, and it's like, oh shit! And yeah, there's some characters that you haven't met yet that they're going to be on like DeviantArts for a long time.
Oh god,
to come. Trust me.
Yeah.
There's some.
It's excellent. Like I said, my thing was only a little quibble that to start with. And I know it will evolve throughout it.
It does.
You just kind of felt like it's the same, but then I just kind of thought, well, it's the start of the game. At least you're kind of carrying on from the first game, and you've got his axe and you've got the blades and everything, and it isn't just a case of, you know, like so many games,
all your weapons.
You've lost everything. Yeah,
no, he's got them.
It feels like you're actually just carrying on from that game.
They've just made the baddies harder. That's all.
They actually do make a point of that in the dialogue as well, and in the kind of the opening little bit of the story. Where Atreus is saying, "Why do we have to train? It's the same every time." And I quite like that they have that, because all the gameplay we've had up to that point has been the same.
Yeah.
I have a theories as well. I posted them in a Discord where I think, from what I've seen so far, like where the story will end or will go, and what things might happen. So I'm interested to see.
I'm not commenting on your theories.
I'm not reading theories.
From what I've seen so far, mate, I can't, because I know things already. Major things.
So obviously, not knowing the ending and stuff, I assume that, again, by the success of how it's going with this game as well, that there's potentially could be a third one, I guess.
Oh, they've already said this is the end of the saga.
Yeah. Oh, really?
The Norse mythology saga.
I mean, Kratos might appear again later down the line.
Send him to Rome, aren't they?
Egypt. I've always said. Do you know,
Egypt, yeah.
Remember on the first game when they were in Mimir's tomb and they were Egyptian things? I always thought, maybe we're going to Egypt. Sliding down a pyramid. Oh.
maybe they'll just send Kratos around like every belief system where it's a pantheon of gods. Yeah,
they literally could do, couldn't they? They said, right, let's send him to Italy. Let's send him to
Church
Egypt.
of Scientology. Let's go.
Send him over to China, Japan.
Yeah.
Final boss has beaten Xenu into crap.
He is the ultimate atheist, isn't he? He's just a god killer.